Hello Math 12 students. I'd like to show you around MyMathLab a little bit with this movie. So if you've never used MyMathLab before, here is the page where you register. It's pearsonmylabandmastering.com, and after you've done this typing once, I would make a link. So I have a link to MyMathLab on my web browser. So if you've never used MyMathLab before, you're going to register, and you're going to register as a student, and here's where you will make up your username and password, and make sure to write them down somewhere because I can't get them back for you. If you lose track of them, you'll have to talk to tech support, and that can be a really painful process. So please keep track of your username and password. If you have used MyMathLab before, you're going to sign in here. You're already registered. If you've forgotten your username or password, use this link, but please use your existing account with your username or password that you already have so that MyMathLab software can keep track of you. So you're going to sign in, and I've already signed in today, but here's my sign-in page with my username and password. And Yuzu is something you can explore if you like. It's a link where you can get to the software through a textbook that you use online. So now I'm at my page that shows all my different classes, and I have lots of them, but you should find this one Spring 16. So S16 is for Spring 16, Math 12. The CRN course record number is 41642, and that's the Sierra College course number. And then the MyMathLab course ID is Hill 13381. So that's the course ID for the MyMathLab course. So once you click on the class, then you're going to see something similar to this. Your buttons are a little bit different because I have an instructor version. So this little icon means that you aren't going to see this button. It's hidden from students, but all the other buttons are the same. So you're going to arrive at the course homepage. So this is the course home. This is the landing page. And at the top here it says January. This strip here is the current week. So you can go forward to next week. So that's when classes begin, actually is next week. And go backwards, and this is the week we're in now. Hover over an icon and you'll see what it's telling you. So this is saying that there's lots of things already available for you to work on. They're not due yet, so that's why it's kind of blurred here. But if you look over here, you'll see there's not the blurry lines. This says this is actually due on this date, and this is due. The blue dots are homework assignments that are due, and the gold boxes are quizzes that are due. So there's lots of good information on this homepage. Upcoming assignments, so you can see what's coming in order. Over here, you can see your overall score, so you should always know what your grade in the class is. In this area is announcements. One of the first things you need to do is run the browser check to make sure your browser has everything it needs to run properly. So the MyMathLab software will check to make sure you have the correct version of Adobe Reader and the Flash Player. So make sure you run that browser check. And then there's instructor announcements. As I make new announcements, they'll be on this page. So the next button is course documents, and each instructor can customize MyMathLab. So my buttons may look very different from MyMathLab if you've used it before. And I designed the course differently than a lot of my colleagues too. So please make sure you note any differences if you have used MyMathLab on a previous class. So here are the course documents. The instructions for the course are here that step-by-step walks you through the sequence of work. The syllabus is here. If you need the syllabus for the class for any reason, it's available to you here. There's a course schedule. So here is my budget, my plan for how to get through the class in the 16 weeks that we have. And then here's review exam 1, and I'll talk about this on the first day of class, but basically this is an exam to help you remember the things from intermediate algebra that you really should already know to be well prepared to begin the class. So back to the main menu. That was the course homepage. Then we just looked at the course documents. You don't have course tools, that's an instructor button, but you do have the e-text button. So the e-text button, you can go right to the textbook, and it should open electronic version of the textbook, and the entire textbook is here. I find it a little challenging to use a digital copy of the textbook. I don't really like it. I like having a paper copy. So that's why I really encourage you to purchase the bookstore bundle that has access to the software and a soft cover version of the text that you can use. So this is the textbook. You can go to whatever section, open the chapter, go to section 2.3, and go wherever you need to in the book. You can go by page number here if you want to just go to a particular page. This is the next page and the previous page. So this button is kind of redundant, but it was already here from my MATLAB, so I left it here. The textbook is also available under the learning aids. So for instance, if you go to chapter 2, section 4, and go to select all and find now, you'll see that the textbook is available here also. So there's chapter test prep videos if you want to use those to help yourself prepare for exams. There's PowerPoint slides. A lot of students find these very helpful for taking notes for the section. This is a new feature called Author in Action. That's the author of the textbook has made little videos that go with this section. So you may find you like the author and want to watch his videos. It's completely up to you. The next button is online homework and quizzes. So if you click show all, you see everything, homework and quizzes. So they're in the sequence that you work on them because they get put in order by due date. So the first assignment is an orientation assignment that all this does is help you learn how to enter your answers into my MATLAB. Then the next thing is something new I'm trying this semester. It's a pre-quiz, I'm calling it. So for class on Wednesday, before class begins, this is due at 9:30 in the morning on Wednesday before class, is this little pre-quiz, and they're very short. And they're going to be concept and vocabulary check sort of questions. So they might be true, false, they might be multiple choice, they might be short answer. But the idea is that you're going to have some idea of what it is we're going to talk about that day, and I'll have an idea of what you already know about the topic. So these are very low value quizzes, the pre-quizzes. So they're important and they will add up and count as much as one entire quiz, but they're very low point value as you go along each individual one. So the next assignment is this review assignment. That's a giant review homework assignment. And it has 45 questions. And I really want you to review all the intermediate algebra that you're supposed to already have knowledge of so that you will be well prepared for the class. But I'm giving you until February 17th, which is after the long holiday weekend, because some students, it takes them a very long time to get all those problems done. And then notice that there's a flag here. So that tells you there's a prerequisite that before you do the review assignment, you need to work on the orientation assignment. So if there's ever a green flag, you can hover over it and it tells you what the prerequisite assignment is. So you're going to need to do 70% of each section before you can move on to the next section. But each chapter, you'll get a fresh start and there'll be no prerequisite for each chapter's first section. So I'll talk more about that in class. Then there are textbook homework assignments. So I find that students really need to graph paper and pencil graphs. So any section that has graphing that needs to be done, I'm going to ask you to do that on graph paper. I have a link here to free graph paper. It's on the math department website. Then section 2.2, I want you to graph numbers 21, 25, 29, and 75. And you'll see this is going to correspond. I don't have all the homework assignments here yet. In fact, I don't think I have 2.2, but you'll see that there will be a homework assignment that says, did you do the textbook from the homework yet? And it will have the problem numbers listed so that you can check and make sure you got the correct ones done, and you'll know which day they're due so that you can bring them to class. So all that is written here in these instructions. It says I'm not going to collect this work, I'm just going to check it off. So I have a check sheet and I just say yes you did it or no you didn't. You get full credit if you bring it in on the due date. If you bring it the following class, it's your job to show it to me. I'm not going to ask for it. But if you do that, you can get half credit. But after that, the score is 0. So these, again, are pretty low stakes assignments. I really just want you to do them. So I'm trying to give you some points so you'll have an incentive for doing them. Free 24/7 online tutoring. You used to have to go through a more complicated process, but now it's just a button on Canvas. So I will be making you another short movie about what's available in Canvas and show you how to access that free 24/7 online tutoring. I make the solutions manual available to you, all the solutions, even and odd problems, so that if you want to work extra problems and have the solutions available, you can do that. So the solutions manual has more than just an answer to the problem. It shows a little bit more of the work so that you can use it as a guide. Personalized study plan. As you're working problems in MyMathLab, the software is paying attention to which problems take you the longest and which you do the most times, and it will provide extra practice on those things that it seem like you need more practice for. So this can be useful for studying for exams. So take a quiz. If you just want to take a quiz and you know that's what you want to do, you can go to this button. So all the assignments aren't there, just the quizzes. But know that this online homework and the take a quiz buttons really go to the same place. You can sort or filter by these buttons here, show all, homework, or quizzes. So even on the take a quiz page, you can see all the homeworks, or you can see all of the assignments in sequence. Here's the grade book, and so you should always know what your grade is and what your score on assignment is. And here's where you can review assignments once you have finished with them. You click, the word review will be underlined, and you click review, and you can look problem by problem through your assignment and see how you did and what you need to work on. There'll be mini quizzes, so let me back up here to take a quiz. After each homework assignment, there's a mini quiz. So if I show all, you'll see that the sequence is pre-quiz before class, section 1.1 homework, then there's a practice mini quiz if you want to use it. This is optional, has no time limit, and you can do it as many times as you like, infinitely many times. Then the actual mini quiz that will be graded, these are very brief, and so you have 30 minutes to work on them, and you get 3 tries, and only the highest score of the 3 tries will be recorded in the grade book. So the sequence is homework assignment, mini quiz, homework assignment, mini quiz, and then the pre-quizzes will be before class each day. So please let me know if you have questions about any of those things. And then here's my website, and you can go right to Math 12, and here's where you can find any handouts I give out in class I will put here, the notes for the class I'll post here. You can see the academic calendar. You can read a little bit about me if you want, see pictures of my old dog and my new dog. And then here are the author in action videos if you want to look at them separately and not from under the learning aids. There are guided lecture notes that the software publisher provides, as well as video transcripts in text form. So there's lots of other stuff down here. I left these buttons here. There's more stuff than most people would ever have time to use. But if you want to explore, maybe you'll find a learning method that works really, really well for you. So please let me know if you have any questions, and I'll also be making a little movie about Canvas.